This is Inez Celis. She is a mother to 3 sons and a grandmother to 8 grandchildren. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia that affects memory, thinking, and behavior. She is currently living with this disease, and her caretakers will be sharing their experience. According to Alzheimer's Association, 6.7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with this disease today.
Hi, my name is Mike Celis. I work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. My job title is a management analyst. I have been working for the VA for the last 12 years. I was previously living in the Portland, Oregon area and took the job that I have now so I could be able to move back to El Paso to help my family out. My first 6 months in El Paso, I was living in an apartment. Then I realized how much care my mom and my dad needed. So instead of renewing my lease or moving into another apartment, I moved into their home. I was able to take care of my dad his last 4 months of life, and actually his last 6 months of life. And now I'm currently taking care of my mom while I'm not working.
Mike, did you ever expect for something to happen like this to your mom?
No, never. My mom and she still is fiercely independent. She hates for anyone to do anything for her, to help her with things. I assumed one day they would need some care, but I never thought my mom would need care because of her mental status.
Did you see an acceleration in her decline after your father passed away?
Yes. So before my father passed away, my mom was still doing a lot of things for herself. She'd wake up very early to go sit by his side, take care of him, just tend to his needs. And I want to say a month or two after he passed away, her mental status just tanked. It went really bad, and her physical health got very, very bad after he passed away. So for about 3 months, she was really sick, in and out of the hospital as an inpatient. And every time she came out of the hospital, her mental status seemed to be worse and worse. And now there's a notable decline in her mental status by the week.
By the week, okay. When did you first notice any signs of memory loss? Was it before her partner passed away, or?
It was before. I want to say it was about 2 or 3 years before my dad passed.
Okay.
I would call from Oregon and tell her, hey, don't forget to do this. And she'd forget. And I'm like, you're not writing things down, or what's going on? She's like, no, she's like, I forget. So I started talking to my brothers, and we started noticing, like, yeah, she just doesn't remember anymore.
And so you would say this was gradually, it wasn't really one day to the next, it just started gradually happening here and there.
Yeah, so her memory started declining a lot. She started forgetting things. But now she forgets things, like you'll tell her something, and 2 minutes later she was asking you again the same exact question. So, like before, it was just like, she just wouldn't remember some stuff, and as soon as you remind her, she'd be fine. But now, even if you remind her, she'll fight you on it.
So, with that being said, when it comes to caring for her, how difficult has it been for you?
Man, it's different. It's not the same every time. Sometimes it's pretty easy. She complies with requests. She'll do the things that's asked of her. And some days, she refuses. She refuses to do anything anyone tells her to do. She only wants to do what she wants to do. And sometimes it's productive. Like, I want to go outside and look at my garden. I want to do things. I want to move around. And sometimes she doesn't want to get out of bed for anything.
If you don't mind me asking, so far, like, what has been the worst experience in all of this for you?
As far as her memory goes?
As far as her memory or any actions that she takes whenever she hasn't been fully there.
So she can be really mean. She can be verbally abusive. She's not physically abusive, but she can be very, very mean. I still think what's worse than that is we've had a few episodes where she forgets them. Every day she forgets that my father passed away, and we have to remind her all day. But there's some times where she forgets and she just like starts crying and crying. It's like the whole, like she relives it.
Okay. Relives the memory.
Yeah, and those are probably the worst days because it doesn't just happen once, it happens a lot throughout the day.
Okay. So, because of how tough the situation sounds, have you noticed, or more so the question I'm trying to ask is how or what do you take, or how or what do you do to take care of yourself to try to keep yourself mentally healthy to be able to help her? Because it does sound like it's pretty straining on your mental health.
When I don't have something like an errand to run for the house, which I always have something to do for the house, but I take advantage of the provider hours. I have it's either 6 or 6.5, just depending on the day, hours per day. So 3 of those hours I have them in the evenings.
Okay.
I am from 6 to 9, and unless I have an errand to run, I just leave the house. It doesn't. Sometimes I don't even make plans. I just leave because I need some time to myself. On the weekends, I try to have something to do, but for the weekends we have a provider we pay for ourselves, and this provider hasn't been the most reliable person for different reasons. So a lot of times I'm just taking care of her by myself on the weekends. So it's been very difficult to get out and do anything, just to have any time for myself.
Have you noticed the situation affect your family dynamic with your siblings or anybody else that's in charge?
I have next to no patience anymore for anyone. Just because, and it's not an excuse, but I am beyond stressed out and every little thing upsets me now.
Okay.
I just have no patience for anyone anymore.
And it's just, do you feel like a lot of the work has been put on you as far as the care responsibility for her?
Well, I'm the one who said that I'd come live here and take care of her and do that. My brothers, with their family dynamics, they really can't. Mm-hmm. So it was either I do this or she goes to a nursing home. Okay. So I chose, it's difficult, but mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to put her in a nursing home for as long as we can.
Okay. Buenas tardes, si los puede dar su nombre y qué es su trabajo, por favor.
Mi nombre es Teresa Caballero y soy proveedora de cuidado de salud.
¿Y cuántos años o cuánto tiempo ha estado haciendo este trabajo?
Aproximadamente 1 año y medio.
Okay. ¿Y con la señora Inés cuánto tiempo lleva ya?
Tenemos 4 meses.
4 meses, ok. ¿Ha trabajado usted con pacientes que tienen, ya les está faltando la memoria o ya los han dado, o les han dicho que tienen Alzheimer's o demencia?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Qué difícil ha sido el trabajo para usted?
Difícil es aceptar la condición que tienen y la comunicación que hay entre familia a la condición del enfermo.
¿Y es un trabajo que le gusta a usted hacer?
Ay, sí, me encanta.
Qué bueno. ¿Qué tipo de actividades trata de hacer usted cuando tiene pacientes así para ayudarles?
Principalmente recordar la familia, recuerdos de sus alimentos, recuerdos de su vestimenta, cómo pasó la noche, si recuerda qué fue lo que sucedió en toda la noche. Siempre estarles recordando el día para que ellos tengan noción de lo que está pasando.
De lo que está pasando, ok. Y puede decir usted que es un trabajo a veces estresante, si es estresante en tipo físico, emocional?
Es emocional, más que nada. Se involucra uno emocionalmente mucho con ellos.
Se encariña mucho a veces con los pacientes, ¿no?
Sí, demasiado. Aunque quiera uno desprenderse o desligarse de ese sentimiento, es muy difícil, porque se hace uno un miembro más en la familia. Entonces, el estar siempre comunicando a ellos quiénes son realmente y cómo han asimilado ellos cuando recuerdan a aquellos seres queridos que se han partido de su lado, y tenerlos en comunicación en la realidad es muy difícil.
¿Y qué tipo de cosas hace usted para tratar que no le afecte a usted? Porque uno puede decir que puede ser pesado a uno que está cuidando, aunque sea su trabajo, aunque le gusta el trabajo, puede ser pesado. ¿Qué son las cosas que hace usted para seguir pudiendo estar allí para sus pacientes?
Principalmente siempre pidiendo fuerzas a Papá Dios, porque si es un trabajo que emocionalmente desgasta, porque nos duele ver ese ausentismo en ellos mismos. Se les olvida tomar agua, se les olvida el comer, las bases principales para ellos mismos. Y lo principal que yo hago es irme con una sonrisa con ellos, con la bendición de que va a estar bien, y relajarme en casa. Escuchar música, trato de tejer, porque me aísla también de mis cosas que tengo que dejar en cada trabajo.
Okay. ¿Y si tiene algún consejo para familias o alguien que trabaja también como usted en cuidando a los pacientes? ¿Qué sería ese consejo? ¿Sería ya que tienen familiares así o para prevenir también?
Prevenir solamente sabemos el día. El día que Papá Dios nos permite vivir, servir a los demás. Pero en familia sí me gustaría mucho la comunicación y terapia en familia. Una cosa es decir qué es lo que le está pasando a mi ser querido, y otra cosa es aceptar las condiciones que tiene ya mi ser querido, que está dejando de ser ello o ella, porque es una niña o es un adolescente que está retrocediendo.
Sí.
Entonces tenemos que aceptar como familia en qué condiciones está para que ella sea más agradable lo que está pasando. Esas personas son inocentes de lo que les rodea. Entonces hay que tener mucha comunicación como familia, coordinarse para el cuidado como familia, y como proveedora dar lo mejor de uno cada día.
Sí. Y paciencia, yo digo también. Sí.
Híjole, relax, mucho relax. Pero sí, muchísima paciencia, y solamente en una vocación como enfermería, como cirujano, como teólogo, un científico, lo hace con mucho amor. Entonces, el servicio a esas personas es porque te nace servir a los demás.
Muchas gracias, Tere.
If you or anyone you know needs help and support for a loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia, please visit the Alzheimer's Association website, alz.org, for additional resources.